Good morning, all the participants. I welcome all the participants who is attending the 3 days distance learning program on water resources sector in India. This program is designed by the NWA for the school teachers so that they benefit, they know about the water quality issues, water resources issues in India. I am thankful to the director NWA Pune who gave me this opportunity to deliver the lecture on the water quality. I again welcome all the participants. Myself, Dr. Zakir Hussain, I am the environmental specialist in Upper Yamuna River Board. This department is under the Ministry of the Water Resources. I have experience in the water quality field around 20 years and I published around 85 research paper in national and international journals. I am the regular faculty of the National Water Academy and I deliver a lecture today on the water quality. In this lecture, I will cover the water quality issues in India and also the what is the factor is affecting the water quality. Bureau of Indian Standards for the drinking water purposes and also we will cover the water quality parameter and its health effect. We also cover the measurement techniques and best practices for maintaining the water quality. Dear friends, water is an integral part of social and economical issues. Population growth, rapid urbanization, and the industrialization, expansion of the agriculture, tourism, and the climate changes put in water under the increasing stresses. Importance of the water is well established back from starting of the life on the earth. Here I will quote a slok of Ramcharitramanas, Chitijal Pava Gagan Samira, Panch Rachitati Adham Sarira. It means human body is consist of the five elements. First earth, second air, third water, fourth fire, and fifth is the space. Nowadays, water become an indicator of the development. More availability of the good quality of the water, more will be developed. But in this sequence, we are facing the another problem, the problem of the pollution of the water resources. So the day by day, the water quality is deteriorating. In this slide, if we see the distribution of the water on the earth, 97.4% is the salt water in the ocean and the sea. Only the 2.6% is the fresh water. The major part of the fresh water is deposited in the ice cave and the glacier. Fresh groundwater is the very low quantity, that is the second most storage of the water. And a fresh surface water is again a very low quantity. Generally, all the people describe the water as H2O. But we can define the water not just like H2O, but it's contain a variety of the cations and anions like calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium, and the anions like a chloride, sulfate, carbonate, bicarbonate found in the water in a various concentration. If the concentration of these ions are within the limit as per described by the World Health Organization, Indian Bureau of the Standards, ICMR, means that water is fit for the drinking purpose. If the concentration of these ions, metals, is above the permissible limit, that's effect on the human beings. If we define the water quality is those physical, chemical, biological characteristics of the water by which the user evaluates the acceptability of the water. Means कि water quality, fit water for that means कि the water is physically, chemically and biologically fit for all these parameters. Dear friends, The organization involved in the water quality monitoring in India are the following, but their objectives are very different. Just like first, Central and State Pollution Control Board. Their objective is the monitoring the surface and the groundwater quality, including the industrial pollution. And the Central Water Commission, this is the apex body of the Ministry of Jal Shakti. They are doing the hydrological observation as well as the river water quality. And the Central Water Commission having the very strong network in India, around 453 water quality stations they are monitoring and covering the all the river basins. And the third is the center and the state groundwater department. They are doing the groundwater quality of the state and the center. And one of the fourth is the public health engineer department. They have a very strong network in India. They are doing the water quality monitoring for the drinking purposes. Next is the university, colleges, and the academic institutes. They are doing the R&D activities in water quality monitoring, remedies, techniques. And the next is the National Institute of the Hydrology. This institute is under the Ministry of Jal Shakti. This is the autonomous body. And this institute is the responsible for undertaking the aiding, promoting, and coordinating this systematic and the scientific work in the all aspect of the hydrology. And they are also doing the hydrological work, especially in the water quality field of the glacier lakes. And the next is the Indian Council of the Agriculture Research. They are doing the water quality monitoring for the irrigation suitability. And the Central Inland Fisheries Research Institute. This department objective as the sustainability fisheries for the inland open water for environmental integrity, livelihoods, and the other purposes. Water Quality Assessment Authority constituted Water Quality Review Committee in the state with an objective to improve the coordination among the center and the state agencies. Second is the to review and the assessing the scheme launch or to be launched to the improved quality of the water resources. Third is the review water quality data analysis and interpretation in order to identify problem area. And the fifth is the developing action plan for improving water quality on a sustainable basis. And sixth is the identify the hotspot on related to the water quality. In India, most of the agencies or departments who are involved in the water quality monitoring are following the Uniform Protocol on Water Quality Monitoring 2005. Subsequently, updatation during the 2007. This Uniform Protocol of Water Quality Monitoring is available on CPCB website. Dear friends, we will discuss in this slide the water quality issues in India. Rapid urbanization, industrialization, and the agriculture growth has resulted in the deterioration of water quality in India. The major source of deteriorating the water quality in India is untreated sewage. Other source of uh, pollution deteriorating the water quality are agriculture runoff and unregulated small and big industries. Most of the rivers, lake, and the surface water, as well as the groundwater sources in India, are polluted due to industrial untreated effluent, untreated sewage, solid waste disposal, that is called the leachate of the landfill site. First water quality issue in India is chemical contamination. There is a number of the sources of natural occurring chemicals in drinking water. All natural water contains a range of the inorganic and organic chemicals. Fluoride and arsenic are recognized worldwide as the most serious inorganic contaminants in drinking water. The fluoride and the arsenic is widely distributed throughout the earth crust and is present in almost all waters in very small amount. Millions of the children are exposed to the excess amount of the fluoride through the drinking water contamination in all over the world. Second is the agriculture activities. Due to the agriculture activities, nitrate contamination and the pesticide level is increasing in the water resources. Pesticide and fertilizer used in the agriculture contaminated both ground, both the contaminated the groundwater sources and the surface water sources. Surface water quality deteriorating is a serious problem in many rapid urbanizing catchment in developing countries. Rapid increasing in the domestic discharge for the major cause of the water quality deterioration. And these all are the cover in the human settlement. They increase the nitrate level, phosphorus level in the natural water resources. And the fourth is the industrial activities. Most of the industry are in a small scale sector and are not having any sewer lines. Even today, most of them do not have a proper wastewater treatment plant and they discharge industrial effluent in unlined channel and streams and thereby they causing the water pollution and they contaminated the surface water sources and the groundwater sources. Detail regarding the natural occurring chemical arsenic fluoride, agriculture activity and industrial activities we will further discuss in other slides. The second water quality issue is the biological contamination. Untreated wastewater can spread diseases and contaminate the drinking water sources. The waterborne diseases are the most important water quality issue in India. The major cause of the biological contamination is the inadequate arrangement for the transport and treatment of the wastewater. And second is the disposal of the untreated or partially treated sewer in the water bodies, like a rivers, lake. These are the major cause of the biological contamination. And due to the leaching or percolation of the untreated wastewater, pollute the groundwater quality also. Due to the biological contamination, the total coliform, fecal coliform level is increasing in the Indian rivers. So that is the very big issue in India is the biological contamination. Most of the water quality agencies like a PhD, CWC, CGWP are analyzing the 41 water quality parameter covering the major cations, anions, metals and pesticides. And also these agencies are analyzing the pollution indicator parameter like a biochemical oxygen demand, chemical oxygen demand, and the dissolved oxygen. These parameters are most of the water quality agencies are analyzing. But due to the day by day urbanization, industrialization, the emerging pollutants are increasing in our aquatic environment. So now today is the emerging pollutant is a big challenge in the water quality field. These emerging pollutants affect the water quality compared to the other general parameters. And this is the big challenges with the potential serious threat to the human health and the ecosystem. Emerging pollutants are mainly organic compounds present as a pharmaceutical and personal care products, hormones, pesticide, food preservatives, laundry detergents, disinfectants, and the other organic compounds in water generated mainly by the human activity. most of the agencies are not analyzing these parameters. So, and these emerging pollutants affect the human health very much. Fourth is water quality issues in Indian rivers. Rivers are called the lifeline of India because they are vital in support the agriculture economy of the country. Industrialization and urbanization of India have majorly influenced the quantity of the river water. The discharge of the oxygen demanding substances like toxic wastage and the host substances, suspended solids, and color wastage in the rivers has deteriorating the quality of the natural stream. So, these are the main water quality issues in the river water quality. First is the high organic content. High organic content means a river receiving the significant high amount of the organic matters which generally originate from the domestic sources. For biodegradation, these organic wastes require the oxygen, dissolved oxygen, causing a significant decrease of the DO level in the river water. The oxygen decrease not only the affect biotic community of the river, but also uh, decreasing of the oxygen level affects its self-purification capacity of the river. Second issue is the high nutrients. The high organic matter after biodegradation release nutrients in the water. The high nutrient concentration lead to the eutrophication in the rivers, and also it's decrease the dissolved oxygen level during the night. And the third is the excess presence of the pathogen. Continuous flow of the sewage waste, dumping of animal dead bodies, and in-stream use of the water like bathing, cattle wading contribute the significant load of the uh, pathogens in the river water, making it unsuitable for the drinking and the bathing purpose. And the fourth is the accommodation of the pollutant in the catchment area due to the industrialization, urbanization, organic and inorganic, and the toxic pollutant generated from the agriculture, industrial sources are accumulated near the source during the dry season and get mixed with the river water during the monsoon season, or these pollutants percolate in the groundwater and deteriorating the groundwater quality and they making the water unfit for the human consumption. And the uh, fifth is the aesthetic value. River losses their value and their glory due to the odor pollution and surrounding environment and the blackish water and the floating of the garbages, plastic packages. These are losing their value. प्रीवियस स्लाइड में हमने डिस्कशन किया था व्हाट इज द कॉज व्हाट इज द रीजन of the polluting the Indian rivers. I give one example to you, Yamuna River. Yamuna River is originated from the Yamunotri and confluents in the river Ganga at Allahabad. You surprised or in this Yamuna River only is completely Yamuna River is not polluted. Only some stretches are polluted due to reason of the domestic waste and somewhere some industrial activity. Just for example, 22-kilometer stretch in Delhi is contributing around 70% of the pollutants, domestic waste, organic load in the river Yamuna. And आपको सरप्राइज होगा कि river Yamuna also having the self purification capacity And after the confluence of the river Chambal in the Yamuna river, again river अपनी वाटर क्वालिटी को इम्प्रूव कर लेती है. इसलिए in India, Central Water Commission done a lot of studies regarding the water quality of the Indian rivers. Conclusion यही निकला कि complete rivers are not polluted. Only some river stretches are polluted. So, what is the remedies to reverse rejuvenation? हमें हमारा डोमेस्टिक वेस्ट जो कि जनरेट हो रहा है उसको ट्रीट करना, इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट को ट्रीट करके ही रिवर्स में हमें डालना है. दिस इज द मेन रेमेडी ऑफ द रिवर रेजुनेशन. With the chemical contamination, fluoride is a natural element. There are a number of the sources of the natural occurring chemical in the drinking water, and the fluoride is the major inorganic pollutant in India. And we know very well that fluorine is the most electronegative and reactive of all the element, and it is very highly reactive and found in naturally as a calcium fluoride. It is an essential constituent in mineral like topaz, fluorite, fluoroapatite, phosphorite. These are the some major minerals of the fluoride. And an estimated 62 million peoples of the 17 states are affecting with the dental and the skeletal fluorosis. In Indian data show the fluoride contamination level in groundwater sources is around 1 milligram per liter to 48 milligram per liter. The control of the fluoride contamination in the groundwater is very difficult. Some techniques of the defluoridation available, but on the basis of the cost data are very costly. And in this some other slides we will discuss about the fluoride and the fluorosis. Fluorosis is endemic in many parts of the world, particularly in mid-latitude regions. Excess fluoride concentration have been reported in groundwaters of more than the 20 developed and developing countries, including the India. In India, 17 states are facing the acute fluorosis problem. There, in worldwide, the following countries have been identified for the problem of the fluorosis: Pakistan, Bangladesh, USA, Argentina, Middle East countries, Japan, South Africa, New Zealand, Thailand. These countries are also facing the problem of the fluorosis. In India, it was first reported in Nellore district of the Andhra Pradesh in 1937. At present, it have been estimated that the fluorosis is found in 17 states of the India, and Rajasthan, Gujarat, and the Andhra Pradesh are facing the lot of the fluoride problem. Most of the districts of these states are facing the problem of the fluorosis. Water quality standard for the fluoride. Fluorine is the most electronegative element in the periodic table. According to the World Health Organization guideline for the drinking water, fluoride level of 1.5 milligram per liter is the desirable upper limit. And according to the Indian standard, maximum desirable limit of the fluoride in drinking water is the 1 milligram per liter, and the maximum permissible limit is the 1.5 milligram per liter. And also the mark 1975 suggested that the standard of the fluoride varies according to the local average temperature due to the changing in daily water intake. So he recommend the various concentration of the fluoride according to the temperature varies. We already discussed about the limit of the fluoride in drinking water, that is the 1.5 milligram per liter. So It is observed that the fluoride concentration greater than the 1.5 milligram per liter causes dental and the skeleton fluorosis. This is the general diseases occurs due to reason of the fluoride contamination. But the other health problem is the thyroid, kidney changes, and cardiovascular effect, gastrointestinal effect. It's also the fluoride effect on our neurological system, reproductive system, and they also affect on the our immunity system. Main is the health effect is the dental and the skeleton fluorosis. In the dental fluorosis, the initially the formation of the white and yellow mark on the teeth, and also the teeth losing its shining. In initial state, the color changes occurs in white, yellow to brown, and it's covering as a horizontal lines on the animal surface. And the presence of the brown color spot on the centermost position of the teeth that show the children is exposed to the higher fluoride concentration in the age of the 2 to 4 year age. And the if the presence of the brown color spots at the teeth uppermost part, it's indicating that the kids expose the high fluoride concentration in the age of 4 to 6 year. Due to the excess injection of the fluoride, bones boron disease like a skeleton fluorosis will be occur. And if we in this slide it is mentioned that how the healthy person can touch the ground, but the fluoride fluorosis person not touch the fluoride the uh, ground. This is the some tests as shown in this slide. Fluoride and the brain. High fluoride concentration affect the IQ level of the children. The majority of the studies conducted in the China that show a correlation between a lower intelligence level, or IQ level, and the evaluate the fluoride intake are from China. During my postdoctoral research work in the Rajasthan indicates that exposure to fluoride in associate with the reduction intelligence in the children. We have found a significant inverse relationship between IQ and the water fluoride level in groundwater sources. Millions of the children around the world are exposed to the higher concentration of the fluoride in the groundwater and are therefore potentially at risk for the benefit of the upcoming generation. Urgently, attention need to the government of India be focused on the public health issues, especially the fluoride concentration and the IQ level of the children's. What are the fluoride mitigation methods? Just fluoride is very essential element for the human beings, but if the concentration is very high, its effect on the human beings. Even though fluoride is generally present in our everyday life, we consume it in a small amount to a small quantity. In generally, it can be found in a meat, fish, cereals, and in the higher concentration, it can be found in canned products like a canned fruit, ground chicken, meat product, and chocolate milk, and some baby dietary supplementaries. So, it is very necessary to see the concentration level of the fluoride in these items. Kindly avoid the fluoride rich items. That is the one mitigation for the fluoride fluorosis. And the second, clinical data indicate that adequate calcium intake is directly associated with the reduction risk of the dental fluorosis. And also the vitamin C is working as a safeguard against the risk of the fluorosis, though measures to improve the nutritional status of an affected population might be a, an effective supplement to the technical solution of this fluorosis problem. And the other is the to select a safe drinking water source in the village. Yeah, okay. If the some fluoride affected source is there, the alternate water source include the surface water, yeah, rainwater harvesting. Yeah, that source having the low fluoride groundwater, kindly select that. If there is no alternate sources available, the adopt the domestic defluoridation technique is only and only practicable option to overcome the problem of the excess fluoride in the drinking water. And where the alternate source is not available, kindly adopt the low cost domestic defluoridation technique. And rainwater harvesting is also a one fluorosis mitigation method. This, if we change our dietary conditions, yeah, habits, we can also save from the effect of the fluorosis. Like if we use the calcium-rich item, vitamin-rich items, vitamin E-rich items, antioxidants, so we can mitigate the fluorosis problem in our human body over a fluoride affected area. Nitrogen forms in natural water or the environment. Nitrogen enters water in numerous forms, including both the inorganic and the organic forms. The primary inorganic forms of nitrogen are ammonia, ammonium, nitrate, nitrite, and the organic form is the organic nitrogen. And the major source of the nitrogen in the natural environment is the sewage and the fertilizer. Source of nitrate in the environment. That is, the first is the natural sources, second is the man-made sources. Pollution of nitrate is a major problem in the earth's surface environment, especially in the arid and the semi-arid region. High concentration of nitrate can result in a many environment and ecological problems such as the uh, bloom of the toxic algae, eutrophication of the lakes, reservoir, and extend the species in the river ecosystem. And the two source of the that is the man-made source is the mainly the cause of the nitrate is the domestic waste, leaching of the septic tank and the sewage, and also the run of the fertilizer uses. And also some industries also contributed the nitrate concentration in the surface water as well as the groundwater. If we talk about the water quality standards, the Bureau of Indian Standards give the limit of the nitrate is the 45 milligram per liter. That is the maximum desirable limit. And if the concentration of the nitrate is the above the 45 milligram per liter, some health problem will be occur. Blue baby syndrome. This is the disease due to the cause of the high nitrate concentration. Long-term exposure of the high nitrate in the drinking water may increase the human health risk, which may lead to the chronic poisoning linked to the methanoglobinea. This disease is also called as a blue baby syndrome. The most common symptoms of the blue baby syndrome is a blue discoloring of the skin around the mouth, hands, and the feet. In infants, methanoglobinea is a condition where a blue baby's skin turns blue. This occurs due to the decreasing amount of hemoglobin in the baby blood. Here, the nitrate is reactive with the oxyhemoglobin, that is the oxygen carrying blood protein. And due to this reason, the oxygen carrying capacity of the human or infant is decreased. So, the infant skin turn in a bluish. Other effect of the excess nitrogen in the aquatic environment, that is the increasing the plant growth and the decay of the plants, because the nitrogen is the nutrient for the plants, so the that increase the plant growth in the aquatic environment. It also the promotes the bacterial decomposition, decrease the available oxygen, dissolve oxygen level in the aquatic environment, eutrophication, and subsequently degradation of the stream water quality. Because if the dissolved oxygen level is decreased in the aquatic environment, means that is the very harmful for the aquatic flora and the fauna. Other natural contaminant is the arsenic. Arsenic is a well-known carcinogen. It is considering as arsenic one of the world's most hazardous chemical. It is well established fact that arsenic uh, plus 3 valency means कि arsenite is the more toxic than the arsenic 5 oxidation state, that is the arsenate. And the inorganic form of the arsenic, such as a trivalent arsenite or pentavalent arsenate, are more toxic than the organic form of the arsenic. And the arsenic is the 20th most abundant element in the earth crust, and it's very harmful for the human beings. Global scenario of arsenic contamination affected countries. Arsenic contamination of the groundwater has emerged as a huge problem. Arsenic is a toxic element and has been placed in the group 1 class of the carcinogens by IARC. Arsenic groundwater contamination is estimated to the affected more than 150 million peoples across the world. The major regions affected are deltas and the river basins. For example, the Bengal Delta in India and the Bangladesh, Mekong Delta in Cambodia, and Danube River Basin in Hungary, and Jenin River Basin in Belgium. These are the some example where the some deltas is there, where the effect arsenic contamination is also arsenic contamination occurs there. Arsenic contamination in India. In India, arsenic groundwater contamination in West Bengal was first noticed in 1978. The first case of the arsenic poisoning came under the light in the 1983. Arsenic contamination has been detected in many states of India, including the West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, Bihar, Punjab, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka, Rajasthan, and the Gujarat. In India, the floodplains of the some states in Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers are arsenic affected. The main sources of arsenic contamination in Gangetic river basin and delta sediments is believed to be Himalayas mountains and the Shillong's plateaus. Apart from this, there are the other geological sources like the Gondwana coal region in Rajmahal Basin in eastern India, Bihar mica belt in eastern India, and pyrite bearing region in Vindhyachal range in central India, and Son River Basin gold belt in the eastern area. Are these are the major contaminated source, or we can say these are the considered as a probable source of the arsenic in India. Arsenic standard for the drinking water. Arsenic contamination of the groundwater has emerged as a huge problem. Arsenic is a toxic element and has been placed in the group of 1 class carcinogen by the IARC. And different countries have a different permissible limits of the arsenic content in drinking water. The WHO guideline for the drinking water, uh, 10 ppm, ppb, या 10 microgram per liter. Initially, the WHO had set 200 ppb as a arsenic standard for drinking water in 1958, and this was later reduced to the 50 ppb in 1963 as to the 10 ppm in the 1993. With knowledge and the case reported about the adverse health effect of the arsenic that include cancer also. And the Indian Bureau of Indian Standards set the arsenic concentration, that is the 10 microgram per liter. Health effect of the arsenic: excess and the long term, around the 5 to 10-year human intake of the toxic inorganic arsenic from the drinking water and some food materials may result in arsenosis. The major arsenosis affected area have been reported in the large deltas and along the major river basin across the world. Other health problems are the skin disease, skin disorder, skin cancer, and the internal cancers like a bladder cancer, kidney cancer, and the lung cancers occurs in a arsenic contaminated area. Chronic toxicity. Chronic arsenic poisoning is due to the uh, repeated or continuous exposure of the arsenic compound, which lead to be an accumulation of the arsenic in our body. These are the some photographs is shown in this slide that it is showing the chronic toxicity in the human body. Water is polluted by many factors, among which industrial waste are the most important. Industrial waste is one of the factors that affecting the water quality of the groundwater and the surface water. Uh, if the industries discharge their industrial waste without treatment, then the waste is affecting the groundwater as well as the surface water quality. If this waste is directly discharged in the rivers or the lake, that affect, yeah, deteriorate the water quality of the surface water system. And otherwise, if it's affect the groundwater quality, because the leachates, yeah, wastewater is flowing in the some drain, it's percolate in the ground and it's affect the groundwater quality. Industrial waste, yeah, deterioration of the groundwater depend on the quality of the waste. यदि इस तरह की इंडस्ट्रीज हो, दे आर जनरेटिंग द कॉपर, मींस कि ग्राउंड वाटर इज इफेक्टेड बाय द ड्यू टू रीजन ऑफ द कॉपर, ड्यू टू रीजन ऑफ द क्रोमियम, लाइक ए कानपुर. कानपुर इज द लेदर सिटी ऑफ इंडिया. ठीक है, वेयर वी आर यूजिंग द क्रोम, means के the waste industrial waste is generating the chromium higher concentration waste that affecting the groundwater quality as well as the surface water quality. And this is the depend on the industrial waste, which type of industries is surrounding the area. So accordingly, that type of the waste is generating. And I'm explaining the one of the example of the industrial ecological disaster in India that happened in 2018 at Gurdaspur of the Punjab. Year 2018, at Gurdaspur district of the Punjab, a sugar mill that's known as Chadda Sugar and Industries Private Limited, that sugar mill released the molasses in the Vyas River through a drain. And the west of the sugar mill lay huge damage the aquatic life of the Vyas River. Several hundreds of the fishes was killed due to the low DO level in the Vyas River. Many fishes are the rare in the aquatic environment, aquatic river. They are also died due to the low level of the uh, dissolved oxygen. Molasses is the bioproduct of the sugar mill that's having the very higher nutritional value and the organic contents. That is, the molasses is released after the production of the alcohol. And in May 2018, around 10,000 kiloliters of the molasses is released in the Vyas River. And the molasses having the brown color, it's impacting the Vyas River water quality. There are the three factors affecting the DO level of the Vyas River during this incidents held in 2018. The first factor is the high colored water. The molasses having the brown color, so that the molasses affect the color of the river, so that the high color water affect the protection of the planktons and the supply of the dissolved oxygen, which support the fish's survival in the aquatic system. The water sample color was observed to be light brown due to discharge of the molasses in the Vyas River, so that the color water is in the Vyas River and not start the photosynthesis reaction in the water. And second factor is the high turbidity. The high turbidity in the Vyas River was due to the discharging of the molasses, which contain the high amount of the suspended matters. This turbidity influenced the intensity of the light pertaining into the water, necessary aquatic photosynthesis process which produce the food, and the dissolved oxygen is necessary for the survival of the aquatic life was stopped. And third reason is the high BOD. After the discharging of the molasses in the river, the DO concentration dropped due to the high load of the oxygen consuming organic pollutant, which accelerates the bacterial growth in the river. Hence, the reduction of the dissolved oxygen level is observed. And these are the three factors: the high color water, high turbidity, and the high BOD level reduced the DO concentration, yeah, dropped the DO concentration level in the Vyas River, so that the thousands of the fishes, rare fishes, is also killed in the Vyas River around 100 kilometers or above kilometers. Landfill site is the one of the cause of the groundwater and the surface water pollution. In We will see that solid waste management is the biggest environmental problem in India. A landfill site is a potential source of the groundwater pollution as well as the surface water pollution. And the landfill leachates is one of the main source of the groundwater and surface water pollution. If it is not properly collected and treated and safely disposal, as it may percolate through the soil, reaches to the uh, groundwater aquifer, and the leachate from the municipal solid waste landfill affect the groundwater aquifer due to the percolation and spread into the adjacent nearby river system by the groundwater flow, and the pollute the surface water resources or the surrounding environment, because the leachate of the landfill site having the very high concentration of the biochemical oxygen demand, chemical oxygen demand, and that's contain a very high concentration of the organic load. If the leachates confluence in the over surface water bodies like a lake or the river, that's pollute the surface water body, and they reduce the dissolved oxygen level, so that the aquatic flora and fauna affected due to region of the high beauty. So the landfill site is the one of the major cause of the groundwater and the surface water pollution, and that deteriorate the water quality of the over aquatic system. Eutrophication. What is the eutrophication? We can define the eutrophication is an enrichment of the water by the nutrients concentration that cause the structural changes to the ecosystem like lakes, rivers, and the sea, such as the increase in the protection of the algae and the aquatic plants, and the depletion of the fish species, and the deterioration of the water quality. These are the some structural changes occurs in the some water body. What is the cause of the eutrophication? The major cause of the eutrophication is the discharge of the wastewater into the water bodies in various parts of the world, and particularly in developing countries. Wastewater is discharged directly into the water bodies like a river, lake, and the sea. The result of that is the release of the high quantity of the nutrients, domestic waste, which stimulates the growth of the algae. That is the one of the cause of the eutrophication, and the second is the agriculture runoff. Agriculture practices and the uses of the fertilizer is the in the soil contribute to the accumulation of the nutrients. When these nutrients reaches in a higher concentration level, and the groundwater is no longer able to assimilate them, they are carried by the rain into the surface water sources like a river, lake, and the sea. These are the major contribution of the yeah, factors for the eutrophication in our surface water bodies. Persistent organic pollutants, POPs, are the toxic chemical that adversely affect the human health and the environment around the world. Now, generally, POPs are the aldrin, chloroaldrin, DDTA, dieldrin, furans, andrin, SCB, and PCBs are the major POPs. These POPs can be transported by wind and the water. Most POPs affect the people and wildlife far from the where they are used and released. The persistent for the long period of time in the environment and can accumulate it and pass from one species to the next through the food chain. And the POPs are stored in the fats. And generally, Indian water quality institutes or departments are generally analyzing the 41 water quality parameter. We are not analyzing the emerging pollutant in the environment. So it is necessary to analyze the persistent organic pollutants in the surface water bodies, especially in rivers, lake, dams, so that we have a data. What is the level of the persistent organic pollutant in our aquatic environment? Accordingly, the departments related to the water quality, they find out the remedies regarding the POPs. Water analysis technique and the instruments. Each water body needs to be analyzed on a regular basis to confirm to the suitability for the drinking, irrigation, and the other purposes. And the parameter wise, the analysis technique vary. Parameter wise water analysis techniques varies. If we are analyzing the pH, then we are using the pH meter. Conductivity, for we are using the conductivity meter. If we are analyzing the some titration parameter like a calcium, magnesium, carbonate, bicarbonate, chloride, and the dissolved oxygen, we are using the digital burette or the glass burette. If some parameter are the color development parameter like a nitrite, nitrate, ammonia, fluoride, phosphate, boron, silicate, in these for analysis of these parameter we are using the UV visible spectrophotometer. Some parameter are very sensitive and we need to be give the accurate result. For these parameter we are using the ion meter. For example, the fluoride we are using the ion meter. In this instrument, okay, only this ion meter fluoride electrode sense on the fluoride concentration in the water. And if we are using the if we are analyzing the total coliform, we need a microbiological setup, different type of the instruments we required, biosafety cabinet, bacteriological incubator, autoclave, different types of instrument we require for analysis of the total coliform, fecal coliform, and the E. coli. So the parameter wise the instrument varies and the methodology is different. But most of the Indian agencies who are involved in the water analysis, they are using the APHA or the Bureau of Indian Standards for the analysis of the water samples. Atomic absorption spectrophotometer. This instrument is used for the analysis of the trace and toxic metal या जिसे हम कह सकते हैं heavy metals like arsenic, cadmium, chromium, lead, iron, nickel, mercury, zinc, cobalt, aluminium. Like this type of the metals we analyzing by using this instrument. इस इंस्ट्रूमेंट में दो तरह की टेक्नोलॉजी वी आर यूजिंग वन इज द we can analyze the metals in the ppb level and the ppm level, and this is the fully dedicated instrument for the analysis of the metals in the any samples, water sample, soil sample, food samples, and the any samples we can analyze the metal concentration by using this instrument. Gas chromatograph and mass spectrometry. This technique is used for the analysis of the organic compounds. Gas chromatography is a common type of chromatography used in analytical chemistry for separation and analyzing the compounds that can be vaporized without decomposition. केस क्रोमेटोग्राफी टेक्निक का हम यूज करते हैं फॉर द एनालिसिस ऑफ द पेस्टिसाइड लाइक अल्फा बेंजो हेक्साक्लोराइड BSC, DDTA, endosulfan, aldrin, dialdrin, and the other POPs, emerging pollutants, surfactant, and the other organic compounds we can analyze by using the gas chromatograph mass spectrophotometry technique. This technique we can use very much in especially in emerging pollutants and the pesticide analysis. Total organic carbon analyzer, just we call as a TOC. TOC having the analysis capacity for the analyzing the total carbon, inorganic carbon, uh, total organic carbon, as well as the total nitrogen in the water and the other samples. BOD take it some time for analyzing the 3 days or the 5 days uh, analysis time, but we can analyze the TOC, okay, how much load is available in the water sample, organic load, कि ऑर्गेनिक लोड कितना है सैंपल के अंदर, नाइट्रोजन लेवल कितना है सैंपल में. We can analyze by using this TOC analyzer. UV visible spectrophotometer. This instrument is used for the analysis of the ammonical nitrogen, nitrate, nitrite, phosphate, silicate, boron, fluoride in the water sample by using the color development methods. इसमें different कंसंट्रेशन का हम मेजरमेंट कर सकते हैं by using the different type of the methods, but this technique is used for the analysis of the color development parameters. Auto titrator, generally carbonate, bicarbonate, chloride, calcium, magnesium, total hardness, जितने भी टाइट्रेशन पैरामीटर्स हैं वी आर यूजिंग बाय यूज एनालाइजिंग बाय यूजिंग द टाइट्रेशन मेथड. We use the digital burette, yeah, glass burette, but day by day the advanced technology is developing. So this is the one of the system of the auto titrator, जिसमें कि हम वाटर सैंपल को we keep the water sample in the auto sampler. That instrument automatically do the titration, and he generate the result of the carbonate, bicarbonate, chloride, calcium, magnesium concentration in the water sample and the other samples. So this is the one latest technology for the titration, that is the auto titrator. That is some different technology for the analysis of the fluoride nitrate and the ammonical nitrogen. That is the analyze these parameter by using the ion meter. This is the techniques where some electrodes are there. These electrodes sense the particular ions. For example, if we are analyzing the fluoride, means in instrument we use the fluoride electrode. Then fluoride electrode sense only the fluoride concentration in the water sample. If you are using the nitrate electrode, that means that electrode sense on the nitrate concentration. So this is the very advanced technology, but some costly technology, because the electrode life is only the 6 months, and after the 6 month the electrode sensitivity is decreased. So the uh, life we assume that is the 6 month life of the for the electrode. जनरली हम स्कूल्स एजुकेशंस में भी हमने देखा, ग्रेजुएशन लेवल में भी हम देखा कि जितना भी हम वी आर डूइंग द टाइट्रेशन बाय यूजिंग द ग्लास ब्यूरेट, where only the one digit is there, 1.1, 1.2 ml, like this one. But day by the technology is increasing. The equipment used, we are using the digital burette. This is the very smooth operational, and the precision accuracy is there, and we can analyze the concentration in a lower limit, like in a glass period 1.1 ml is coming here. After the 0.3 digit we can and measure uh, the concentration. Bottle top dispensers. The bottle top dispenser provide the outstanding performance for precise volume dispensing of high purity media for the trace metals analysis. And the bottle top dispenser is well suited for dispensing the acids, bases, and hydroperoxide. Plastics in contact with the media consist of the high purity material using in this bottle top dispenser. So safety features, lot of the safety features is available in the bottle top dispenser. Best practices for maintaining the water quality. Geometric increase in population clubbed with the rapid urbanization, industrialization, and the agriculture development has resulted in high impact on quality and quantity of water in our country. The situation warns us. So, water quality management strategy need to implement immediately, and we need simple, low cost, and easy to maintain solution for the water quality improvement. The some points are given in this slide. If we increase the water analysis sources, so we can identify the problem in our water resources. Like if we are generally we are doing the some 10 water analysis sources, so we increase the water quality sources to up to 50. So we identified the complete scenario of the complete picture of the water sources. Okay, which type of the problem we are facing, which type of the parameter is the above the permissible limit. So the increase the sampling sources of the water quality monitoring, identify the point and the non-point sources of the pollution, and third is the simpler technology should be adopted for the sewage treatment, because we see the sewage domestic waste is the major factor for the biological contamination of the surface and the river water. And due to reason of the domestic waste, most of the river are facing the problem of the organic load in the rivers. And the industrial zero discharge, we make it this type of the rule regulations, and we strict the government departments, the pollution control board, the industrial industries is not discharge the pollutant in the surface, in inland surface. So, and the other operational and maintenance of the treatment plant, lot of the treatment plants in India, but their capacity is very low. We need to be increase the capacity for the treatment capacity of the sewage treatment plant and the other plants. Waste minimization and the clean technology we need to be adopt, rainwater harvesting and the recharge of the groundwater sources. These are the some points we can improve the water quality of the surface and the groundwater. Full to all the participants who attend this training program and listen my lecture. I am really very thankful. And आपका यदि any type of the question है, so you can mail me and you can discuss with me at my mobile number. The mobile number and email address is on the slide. And really I am very thankful to all the participants, and I am also thankful to the director NWA for giving me the opportunity to deliver this lecture. Thank you, sir.